Ladies, stop chasing. Let him feel your absence like a punch to the gut. The more you run after someone who ignores you, the more you teach them it's okay to undervalue you. You are not a backup plan. You are the entire plan. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do instead. Do this one thing and watch him crawl back, wondering how he ever let you go. Silence isn't weakness. It's power wrapped in grace. In a world obsessed with reacting, posting, texting, explaining, proving, choosing silence is like wielding a secret weapon, because silence makes noise. And the right kind of silence can echo louder than 1,000 words ever will. When someone ignores you, especially someone you cared for deeply, your natural instinct is to reach out, to explain, to beg for closure. You want answers. You want validation. But here's the truth no one told you. The more noise you make trying to fix what broke you, the less they hear you. The more you chase, the more you lower your value in their eyes. People don't appreciate what's always available. They value what suddenly becomes rare. Have you ever noticed how the moment you stop texting him, the moment you stop updating that story hoping he'll see it, the moment you vanish from his radar, he starts noticing you again? That's not a coincidence. That's human psychology. What disappears becomes desirable. What stays quiet becomes mysterious. And mystery always pulls people in. Imagine a woman who gets ignored by a man she loved deeply. He ghosted her. No explanation, no apology, just silence. Now she could explode, bombard him with, "Why? Did you do this to me?" texts. She could try to make him feel guilty. Or she could go silent. She doesn't block him. She doesn't delete him. She simply becomes unavailable, emotionally untouchable. While he's expecting drama, all he hears is, nothing. That silence starts to itch. First day, he feels relief. Fifth day, he feels haunted. Because silence leaves room for imagination. And imagination is often scarier than truth. Now apply this to your daily life. Think about work. When someone tries to undermine you in a meeting, do you always have to clap back? No, sometimes just giving a calm smile and saying nothing, looking unbothered, shakes them more than any sharp reply. Your silence says, "I'm above this. I don't compete where I don't compare." That's the kind of energy you need to carry everywhere. Quiet strength. Take friendships. A friend constantly talks behind your back, lies, disrespects you. You confront them once, they deny it. What do? You don't scream. You don't plead. You slowly pull away. You don't give them the satisfaction of your tears. You show them they are no longer welcome in your energy. That's silence with dignity. That's emotional maturity. In relationships, silence doesn't mean playing games. It means knowing when your energy is being drained and choosing to walk away before you lose your self-worth. It's knowing that silence is not a reaction, it's a decision. A decision to protect your peace, your mind, your heart. A queen doesn't scream when disrespected. She withdraws her presence. She lets the absence speak. Because she knows her silence will echo in rooms where her voice was once ignored. And eventually, the very people who took her for granted will sit in that silence and miss the version of her they no longer have access to. You're not being cold, you're being powerful. You're not being petty, you're being selective. You're not giving the silent treatment, you're giving yourself the space to heal, to breathe, to rise. Let people wonder what you're thinking. Let them question if they still have a place in your life. Let your silence tell the story you no longer owe anyone to explain. Because when you speak all the time, people learn how to ignore you. But when you go silent, they start craving your voice. The loudest scream is the one not made. The deepest impact is from the one who walks away without making a scene. The most unforgettable presence. When someone walks away from you or chooses to ignore you, the best revenge is not revenge at all. It's reinvention. Upgrade your life, both loudly and softly. Loud enough for the world to notice, but soft enough for your soul to feel safe again. Loudly, so they can see the glow up. Softly, so you can rebuild yourself with real love, not rage. You don't heal by sitting in your pain forever. You heal by transforming that pain into power. Every time someone disrespects you, betrays you, underestimates you, that's not a sign to break. That's your invitation to upgrade. Let their silence fuel your rise. Let their absence spark your evolution. Imagine this. A woman cries her heart out for 3 nights straight. Ghosted, ignored. Left questioning her worth. On the 4th day, she wipes her tears, looks in the mirror, and says, "This version of me ends now." She signs up for a gym membership, not for revenge, but for renewal. She starts dressing like the woman she wants to become, not the one he walked away from. Her skin starts glowing, her energy shifts, her posture changes. The same people who dismissed her start saying, "You look different. What happened? What happened?" She upgraded. And she didn't do it for them. She did it for herself. Sometimes you upgrade loudly. New goals, new business, new passions. You post your wins, you share your growth, and you let the world know you're no longer who you used to be. Other times, the upgrade is silent. You cut off toxic people. You heal privately. You read books. You listen to empowering podcasts. You fix the way you talk to yourself in the mirror. That soft upgrade, that quiet inner work is the most powerful transformation of all. Take a woman who just got out of a long relationship. She feels lost, like half of her identity walked out the door with him. But instead of jumping into another situation or proving herself to the world, she gets still. She takes time to relearn who she is. She starts journaling, going to therapy, reconnecting with old hobbies she abandoned. She isn't trying to make noise. She's just trying to make peace. That's a soft upgrade, and believe me, it shows. You walk differently when you like who you're becoming. At work, they overlooked you, gave the promotion to someone less qualified. That stings, right? But instead of complaining, you sign up for new certifications. You network harder. You start building your own brand on the side. And 1 year later, the same people who you are now inviting you to speak, to lead, to mentor. That's how you upgrade loudly. Not through noise, but through undeniable results. Even in friendships, when someone uses you, betrays you, mocks your dreams, don't argue. Upgrade. Let your growth speak volumes. Let your peace be your response. The best part? They'll watch you from afar, confused about how you got so unbothered. And you won't even need to say a word. You don't need to announce every move. Sometimes your glow up is just in your smile returning, in how deeply you sleep at night, in how you no longer feel the need to explain yourself to anyone, in how you drink your coffee alone in peace without craving someone's approval. This is what a real upgrade looks like. It's not always glamorous. Sometimes it's in waking up early, showing up to the gym when your heart still aches, choosing a salad over fast food, meditating instead of texting him, walking away from gossip, saying no to drama, saying yes to yourself. That's the soft part. That's the part no one sees, but is the foundation for everything they will see soon. Upgrade your life not to prove a point to anyone, but to rise to the level your soul was always meant for. Not out of vengeance, out of vision. Because when the new you walks in, the old pain walks out. When your energy elevates, your standards do too. And that's when the world starts treating you differently. Because you've already started treating yourself like the masterpiece you are becoming. Rejection isn't the end. It's a divine detour. A redirection so powerful, you'll thank the very door that shut on you. At first it hurts. It feels like failure, like something you weren't good enough to have. But rejection is not about your worth. It's about your alignment. It's life whispering, not here, not him, not this. There's more. When a man rejects you, ignores you, ghosts you, makes you feel invisible, it's easy to internalize it. You start questioning, was I not pretty enough, not smart enough, too much, too little? But what if that rejection had nothing to do with who you are, and everything to do with who you're meant to become? Sometimes you need someone to walk away so you can walk into the life that was waiting for you to stop settling. Picture this. She was head over heels for him, planned a future, dreamt big, thought he was the one. But one day, he went cold. No explanation, no closure, just silence. At first, it crushed her. She begged, cried, lost sleep. But then she stopped asking why and started asking, what now? She used the pain as a pivot. She signed up for courses she never had time for, started a side hustle that turned into a business, met new people, found new passions. 2 years later, she didn't just move on. She leveled up so hard that even the memory of him felt like a different lifetime. That's redirection. So Dan, just like a different lifetime. That's grace disguised as heartbreak. Rejection can happen anywhere. Relationships, careers, dreams. Maybe you didn't get that job you were desperate for. You thought it was your break, but they gave it to someone else. You felt overlooked, unseen, betrayed. But that closed door led you to start something of your own. It made you resourceful. It forced you to discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. And guess what? The job you lost gave you the life you now love. That's redirection. Even friendships carry rejection. That friend you trusted, she betrayed you. Talked behind your back. Left when you needed her most. At first you feel the sting, the ache of being replaced. But eventually you realize she didn't leave your life, she cleared space. Space for people who genuinely love, respect, and uplift you. Sometimes rejection is just God cleaning the room for better company. And then there's self-rejection, the most dangerous kind. The voice in your head that says, I'm not enough, I'll never make it, I'm too broken. But what if you turned that voice into your fuel? What if every time you felt rejected, you reminded yourself, this isn't rejection, it's redirection. I'm not being pushed away, I'm being pulled forward. That shift in mindset turns victims into victors. One woman gets dumped and becomes unstoppable. The difference? One saw it as destruction, the other saw it as construction. Your perspective shapes your power. Even in love, some of the greatest relationships you'll ever have are born after the worst heartbreaks. Because rejection doesn't mean love is over. It just means the wrong chapter ended, so the right one could begin. Sometimes the person you thought was your forever was just your lesson. And when you finally understand that, you stop chasing closure and start chasing growth. You are not the one who got left. You are the one who got freed. Freed to find your voice, your value, your victory. Freed to finally fall in love with the most important person, you. Because the best redirection is the one that leads you back to yourself. Every no you ever got was really a not here, not yet, not them. And every time life rejected you, it was protecting you from what would have dimmed your light. So stop mourning the detour. Start mastering it. Because rejection only stings when you don't see where it's leading you. Once you do, it becomes the most powerful turning point of your life. Be seen where he ain't. That's not just a clap back. It's a power move. It means stop showing up in places where your value isn't recognized. Stop pouring yourself into conversations that don't echo back. Don't keep standing in rooms where your name is mispronounced by someone who never even tried to learn your language. The moment someone decides you're not worth their time, you make it your mission to shine where their eyes can't reach. Because your light isn't meant for blind people. You know those places you used to frequent just to accidentally bump into him? That cafe he liked? That gym he went to? That mutual friend's party? Stop. Don't reduce your presence to a shadow in someone else's world. Expand. Be seen where your energy is welcomed, not where your presence is tolerated. When a man starts acting like he doesn't see you, don't beg for his attention. Go where your light gets applause. Build a world where his absence isn't felt because your presence is too powerful. A woman once told me she kept showing up at the bar where her ex used to hang out, thinking maybe he'd see her and regret letting her go. She dressed like fire, smiled like sunshine, but he never looked up. One day she had enough. She signed up for a photography course across town. Different vibe, different crowd, different version of her. In 6 months, she was leading exhibits, creating art, surrounded by people who truly saw her, not just her face, but her fire. She found her place the moment she stopped looking for him. That's what it means to be seen where he ain't. There's a dangerous habit we don't talk about enough. Shrinking ourselves to stay visible to people who've already made up their minds about us. You lower your tone, you dilute your dreams, you shrink your magic so he doesn't feel small next to you. But when he's gone, the real you should come out, not disappear. You don't go missing, you go massive. If he didn't see your worth, make sure the next version of you is so powerful, he needs sunglasses just to remember you. If he didn't see your worth, Make sure the next version of you is so powerful. He needs sunglasses just to remember you. If you don't show up for validation, you show up because you are valid. Get in rooms where your energy is respected. Attend workshops, travel solo, speak on stages, post that content, launch that business, join that dance class. Don't worry if he's not watching. Someone else is, and more importantly, you are. You're witnessing your own rebirth. Imagine the woman who spent 3 years building a brand in silence. Her man didn't believe in it. Called it a cute hobby. She walked away heartbroken but determined. She started showing up online, sharing her message, growing a tribe. The man who once ignored her success now watches from the sidelines, lurking her stories, watching her interviews. But it's too late. She's being seen in spaces he never had the vision to enter. She didn't need his support. She needed his absence. Even in daily life, maybe he didn't compliment your outfit, never noticed your glow up, never listened to your dreams. So what do? You walk into that meeting room, take the lead, speak with conviction, and watch as people sit up straighter when you speak. You walk down the street and strangers smile. You enter new circles where your energy isn't just noticed, it's remembered. That's being seen where he ain't. And this isn't about revenge. It's about radiance. You're not showing off. You're showing. Agame. You're showing up. Not to hurt him, but to heal you. Because when you stop chasing closure and start chasing growth, the universe opens up in places you never imagined. He might have been a chapter, but you're writing the book. And the next pages, they're set in rooms he can't access, on stages he never stood on, under lights too bright for him to handle. Embody the unreachable energy, not out of arrogance, but out of alignment. This isn't about playing hard to get, it's about being hard to forget. When you truly know your worth, you stop being everywhere. You stop responding to every message, picking up every call, attending every event just because someone asked. You become intentional. You don't chase, you attract. And you attract what respects your frequency. When someone tries to reach you with inconsistency, they won't find you. When someone wants access without effort, they won't get through. Because a woman who embodies unreachable doesn't lower her altitude to be seen. She waits for someone who can meet her where she's flying. There's a woman who used to reply instantly to every text. She always said yes, always made time, always adjusted her crown to fit someone else's comfort. Until one day, she didn't. She turned off the notifications, started waking up early, journaling, going to the gym. Not for revenge, but for renewal. She began to glow. Not from makeup, but from purpose. The same people who once took her for granted suddenly couldn't reach her. She didn't block them. She just became mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That's the power of being unavailable to chaos and fully committed to peace. Being unreachable doesn't mean being cold. It means being sacred. It means every version of you is not for public access. Your mind, your body, your spirit. These are temples, not open malls. When a man thinks he can walk in and out of your life like it's a revolving door, remind him this isn't a store. It's a sanctuary. And only those who remove their shoes, speak with respect, and value the silence will ever be allowed to stay. Let's be real. When you're too easy to reach, people stop reaching with effort. When you're always available, they forget you're valuable. But the moment you pull back, not out of bitterness, but out of brilliance, you become unforgettable. There's something powerful about the woman who walks in grace, responds with wisdom, and doesn't feel the need to prove a thing. She doesn't announce her evolution, she just evolves. And by the time they notice, she's no longer standing in the place they left her. Even in friendships and work dynamics, carry that unreachable aura. You're not out here trying to be liked. You're living to be respected. You're not the emergency contact for people who never show up when you're bleeding. You're not the backup plan. You're not the second option. You are the whole damn plan. And when you finally realize that, everything shifts. Imagine a woman walking into a room. She's not loud, she's not desperate for validation, but everyone feels her presence. Not because she screams, but because her energy is undeniable. She doesn't need to be noticed. She just can't be ignored. That's what it means to embody unreachable energy. You're not unreachable because you're bitter. You're unreachable because your frequency can't be found in average spaces anymore. People will say, you've changed. Let them. Because you weren't born to stay in spaces where your brilliance had to beg to be seen. You were born to elevate, to inspire, to lead. And sometimes that means walking alone so you can meet those who deserve to walk with you. When someone tries to circle back, they won't find the same version of you. Not because you're hiding, but because you've outgrown the places they left you in. And now, reaching you requires more than just a message. It requires maturity, presence, and purpose. Make peace, not revenge. Because revenge may satisfy your ego, but peace feeds your soul. It's easy to fantasize about payback, to think of all the ways you could make someone hurt the way they hurt you. But the truth is, when you carry bitterness in your heart, it doesn't punish them, it poisons you. Making peace doesn't mean they won. It means you did. It means you chose your healing over their chaos. You chose your future over your past. And there is nothing more powerful than a woman who walks away with grace, not grudges. Think about the woman who finds out she was lied to, cheated on, disrespected. The first instinct? Rage. To expose him, to match his games, to destroy his name. But then she pauses, she breathes. She asks herself, is this the woman I'm becoming? Or is this just a reaction to the pain I feel right now? And that moment of awareness, that is power. Because anyone can act out of anger, but it takes real strength to act out of alignment. She doesn't lash out, she levels up. She doesn't burn bridges, she builds boundaries. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is silence. It's success. It's serenity. The moment you stop obsessing over how to make them regret hurting you and start focusing on how to build a life that feels like freedom, you've already won. Because they're not your lesson, they're just the trigger that showed you what you will never tolerate again. That pain they caused, that was the spark. But what you build after, that's the fire. I remember a girl who was publicly humiliated by someone she loved. She wanted to scream, cry, ruin his reputation. But instead, she got quiet. Not silent in weakness, silent in wisdom. She started therapy. She traveled solo. She got back in touch with her hobbies, her purpose. A year later, she was